Have you ever walked into a room and felt every eye on you, even when you said nothing at all? It's like people can feel something about you before you speak. They watch. They stare. Some are curious. Others are uncomfortable. But here's the truth they don't want to admit. They're not watching your clothes, your style, or your status. They're watching your spirit. Because on a spiritual level, something about you disrupts the atmosphere. You're not ordinary. You're a chosen one. And everyone can feel it, even if they don't understand why. Let's talk about it. The truth is, being watched constantly isn't just a coincidence. It's not paranoia. It's not your imagination. It's spiritual recognition. Your aura is not subtle. It radiates something ancient, something divine. When you walk into spaces, the energy shifts. Conversations get quieter. Some people stare without realizing it. Others avoid eye contact completely. But no matter what, they feel something. That something is your spiritual signature. It's unlike anything they've encountered before. You see, chosen ones are marked by God, not just in the physical world, but in the unseen realms. This mark follows you. It can't be washed off, hidden, or silenced. Even people who aren't spiritually awake can detect it. It's like a subconscious awareness. Their spirit senses something sacred, something powerful, and they don't know how to respond. So they stare. They observe. Some will admire you. Some will envy you. But none of them can ignore you. This is why you've always felt like you didn't fit in. You weren't made to blend in. You were made to stand out. But the problem is, standing out comes with a weight. When people are watching you constantly, it can feel overwhelming. You begin to question yourself. You wonder, what am I doing wrong? When really, you're doing everything right. It's not what you do, it's who you are. Your presence challenges their comfort. Your light exposes what they try to hide. And even if you say nothing, you speak volumes spiritually. From childhood, you might have noticed how people watched you with confusion or fascination. Teachers may have treated you differently. Friends may have become distant for no clear reason. Even family members might have misunderstood your spirit. That's because your frequency was always higher than the environment you were placed in. You weren't meant to adapt. You were meant to awaken others. But here's the part nobody talks about. When you carry this level of spiritual light, you also attract resistance. Darkness recognizes you just as fast as the light does, and both sides are watching. Some people are spiritually empty. They watch you to try and figure out how you move the way you do, how you stay calm through chaos, how you heal without revenge, how you smile when you've been betrayed. They don't understand your strength because it's not your own. It comes from your divine source. Your stillness confuses the enemy. Your peace irritates demons. And your joy in hard seasons, that's what drives them mad. You're not being watched because you're weak. You're being watched because you're strong in a way the world can't explain. Sometimes, the enemy will send people into your life just to monitor you. They'll pretend to be friends, lovers, supporters, but their mission is spiritual espionage. They want to figure out the blueprint of your peace, the source of your favor. They want to study your patterns, your mindset, your habits. Why? Because they know something major is coming for you, and they want to either delay it or copy it. But here's the thing. You can't duplicate a divine assignment. You can imitate the surface, but never the substance. And what God placed on your life isn't available for public download. It's tailor-made for your soul. That's why you must stay grounded in your identity. Don't shrink to make others comfortable. Don't dim your light because people start acting weird around you. Their reactions are not your responsibility. You were born with this calling. You didn't ask for the spotlight. It found you. You didn't seek the attention. It follows you. Because spiritually, you carry a code, a frequency that pierces through the noise and exposes what's real. And the people around you, they sense it, even when they can't name it. Some will be drawn to you without knowing why. They'll open up to you in ways they've never opened up to anyone else, They'll feel safe around you. That's because your spirit carries healing. Your presence brings clarity. You didn't study to be this. You were born with it. And it's not arrogance, it's alignment. It's spiritual design. But not everyone will respond with love. Others will try to tear you down. They'll mock your faith. They'll twist your words. They'll try to make you feel guilty for standing in your truth. But understand this, their discomfort isn't your burden. Their offense is often their conviction. When people see someone who doesn't conform, they feel challenged. When they see someone who doesn't gossip, doesn't complain, doesn't chase the crowd, it makes them question themselves. Your discipline highlights their lack of it. Your calmness highlights their chaos. Your growth highlights their stagnation. That's why they watch you so closely. They're trying to make sense of the soul that doesn't make noise but makes impact. You don't beg for attention, yet attention finds you. You don't brag about your journey, but your presence speaks louder than words. Spiritually, you're a mirror. You reflect truth. And the truth is not always comfortable. That's why some people will distance themselves without explanation. It's not that you changed. It's that they couldn't handle who you were becoming. And deep down, they always knew you were different. Maybe they couldn't articulate it, but they felt it. Every chosen one has a presence that awakens something in others, whether that's inspiration or intimidation. When you step into a space, the atmosphere reacts. It's not pride. It's not ego. It's anointing. It's the residue of God's touch on your life. And that's not something you can hide. You're not called to be invisible. You're called to walk boldly, because your presence activates purpose. Even your silence is loud. Even your rest is productive. Even your waiting season is washed. Because people know, when you move with power. But remember, being watched also means being tested. Not everyone watching you is cheering for you. Some are waiting for you to fall, to fail, to break. That's why you can't give them that satisfaction. Stay rooted, stay prayerful, stay discerning, because their eyes may be on you, but God's hand is over you. And when God's hand is over you, no weapon formed against you will prosper. They can watch, they can whisper, they can wonder, but they can't touch what heaven has assigned. You are spiritually guarded. You are divinely protected. And no amount of envy, confusion, or spiritual warfare can cancel what God has spoken over your life. So while they're watching, don't shrink. Rise. Don't explain. Elevate. You weren't chosen to convince people. You were chosen to transform atmospheres, to carry light into dark places, to represent something pure in a world that has normalized confusion and chaos. And that makes you a spiritual target, yes, but also a spiritual weapon. You are proof that God still chooses people, that heaven still speaks, that grace still transforms. You're the reminder that miracles still walk in human form, that divine purpose still wears skin and breathes through a heartbeat. You don't need to fight for attention. You were born watched. You don't need to chase platforms. You carry presence. And that presence is what draws people in, even if they pretend not to see it. It's what makes people pause mid-sentence when you walk by. It's what makes enemies act friendly, just so they can stay close enough to study your movements. But let them watch. Let them observe, because the more they watch, the more they'll witness the truth. You are covered by something they can't replicate, imitate, or duplicate. And that truth makes people uncomfortable. They'll try to find your flaws. They'll dig up your past. They'll twist your words, not because they don't believe in you, but because deep down, they know who you are, and it scares them. Your confidence in God terrifies people who only believe in themselves. Your faith looks like rebellion to those who follow culture. You are not influenced by the noise because you're guided by the voice. That's the difference. That's why you're watched. But let me say this. Don't let their eyes become your chains. Don't start performing to be understood. You're not here to entertain. You're here to awaken. You're not here to prove. You're here to walk. You're not here to explain your process. You're here to embody your purpose. And sometimes that means walking alone. Sometimes that means being misunderstood. But always, always, that means being watched. Because chosen people carry a fire that can't be ignored. And that fire reveals everything around them. The real and the fake. The light and the shadow. The loyal and the leech. You'll start to notice that people copy your energy, your words, even your silence. They imitate your peace, but they can't maintain it. Because they don't have the source. You do. And that source is what keeps you grounded. It's what keeps you glowing even after the storm. It's what keeps you soft, even when life tries to make you hard. You were chosen for more than survival. You were chosen to be an example. And examples are always observed, carefully, closely, sometimes obsessively.